Okay, so this is a test for vlogging. First mistake that I'm making is I'm looking at myself and I should be looking up here at the camera. And that's one of the things that I've learned from things that I've been watching about how to vlog. Right now, I want to do the test of if I'm sitting in the recliner and vlogging. Do I look like an idiot? And is it something that I need to work on? Or is this viable? Hi, welcome to Chronicles of Nani. I'm Nani, and that's Marco. And we're here to show you all kinds of things. What you saw before the intro was one of my earlier attempts at trying to figure out if I could actually do Chronicles of Nani on YouTube at all. You're going to see some little pieces of my attempts and what was on the cutting room floor, which doesn't really happen in digital editing. It's the folder that says maybe used for later. When you see where I came from and where I'm going, and join in on where I'm headed. If you have not subscribed to this vlog, please subscribe. There's something new all the time. Like I have said before, I'm an optimist tempered with realist. So there's a lot of optimistic looking forward. These are the good things that are going on. There are some times that these are the bad things that are going on and things that are frustrating me. So there's a little bit of realism in there. If you have a chronic illness, or if you are in a wheelchair, or if you love somebody, they're a friend, a family member, or if you professionally care for somebody that's in that position, and every one of us is different. Every chronic illness is different. Every situation of why you're in a wheelchair is different. But there are a lot of things that we all have in common too. And it's helpful for all of us who qualify in that chronic illness, wheelchair, etc., etc. It's also helpful for everyone who cares about us and everybody that we care about. So please subscribe and join in, be part of our community. This is a cyber coffee shop, and this is my coffee for today. And the important part is the mug. It doesn't get easier, you just get better. I like to believe that that's me, and I hope that after you see some of the trial runs for this vlog, and then you see what the vlog actually has become, you might agree that, yeah, you are getting better. That's good. So definitely subscribe and see how much better I can become, and see how much better we can become as a community. I definitely have to thank the aides that were working with me in 2020. July 28th, 2020 was when the first Chronicles of Nani debuted on YouTube. And my aides at the time had so much to do. I had a millennial and about a half generation younger than me aide that were all for and encouraging me to put this together. And yes, you can do it. Of course you can. You tell great stories and you speak so well, and you know a lot of things about what you're dealing with, and you have the right kind of attitude. my friend Tracy, who has been my friend since the end of 1992. And we've worked at a couple of different places together. And it was one of those things that when we met, it was just automatic. And she's the one who told me that you have done so many things that you didn't think you were ready to do. And you just jumped in, started doing them, and you just automatically got better because you learned what it takes to do things really well. So somewhere between Karina and Andrea and Tracy, my millennial that did my hair, and my younger than me aide that did modeling for a lot of my earlier vlogs, and my dear friend who gave me the encouragement and who has always been my professional butt kicker when I needed my butt kicked. Between the three of them, I definitely said, you know what, before my birthday, I am gonna get this vlog going and I'm gonna stick with it. And they are all very responsible for getting me and keeping me on the air. Right now, I'm gonna show you a couple more clips of getting ready and figuring out whether or not this was gonna happen. And then we'll go from there. Right now we're doing a at this level test because I think this is about where the cup holder phone stand that I bought is going to stand. And if it does, I think it's a decent level for doing vlog stuff when I'm out in a park like I am today. What you doing, Marco? Marco, what you doing? Are you enjoying grass? In an hour, you're going to want so much kibble.
Mr. Marco Kiddio.
Okay, so maybe that last one was cheating a little bit, because anything with cats ups the ante on anything that you see on the internet, because everyone knows cats own the internet, right? Just sort of like having a cat sleeping behind me is cheating a little bit on this vlog. Just a little bit. The next couple of clips are clips that were from actual Chronicles of Nani videos. I have said before that I hate looking at myself. I have always been a behind the scenes person. When I was a producer, I was on TV a couple of times because I needed to be, but for the most part, I like being behind the scenes. Just put my name on the end of it saying that I'm the producer or that I'm the editor, that I did something. That's good enough. So it took some getting used to seeing my face all the time. And editing it makes me nuts because I'm looking at myself all the time. Getting used to it. But the truth is that ever since my teenage years, I've talked to the girl in the mirror a lot. And, well, I'll let you see the next couple of clips because the first one talks about talking to the girl in the mirror. I started a new school system, took an entrance exam, and my 6th grade math was suddenly turned into 7th grade accelerated math. So 6th graders hated me because I was so gifted in math. Because I excelled in math. 7th graders hated me not just because Well, the 6th grader walks in because she's too good for 6th grade math. And then they put me in the back of the class with the accelerated 7th graders. So now the 7th graders hate me because she's not only too good for 6th grade, she's too good for the rest of us. And of course, the 7th grade accelerated math kids are 7th grade accelerated math, a little 6th grader. Please, we are the kings and queens of our class, not you. You're supposed to be the queen of your own class. Stay away from ours. And I sort of went through, this is my first year in a new school district, and I've become this pariah already because everybody's thinking, oh, you're too smart, you're too good for us. My first week in the new school district, I sort of came back and said, I want to go home. I don't want to stay here. And I had a friend who, quote and unquote, was going to help me. And she showed me how to be stupid, how to dumb yourself down, how to, fail at a few different things. And I got so good at making myself mediocre that I actually flunked out of a couple of classes in 9th grade, my first year in high school. And it was after that first year in high school that I had a conversation with the girl in the mirror. And the conversation with the girl in the mirror was basically, so what do you want to do when this high school thing is over? Do you want to spend the rest of your life saying, so do you want fries with that? Or do you want to go on and get a college degree and have a career and become successful? 13, almost 14. It was deciding, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Do you want to continue dumbing yourself down and trying to be mediocre? Or do you want to say, no, I want to turn myself around? And I couldn't give myself a good reason not to turn myself around. So I went from failing a couple classes to honor roll the next year, and I stayed there.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I did get to spend a week where my last name was from ESPN. That was very cool. However, during that week, our car pulled in with a professional friend that I met doing this part-time job because we lived close and driving out to the racetrack for NASCAR, which is what we were working for ESPN freelance for. All the rest of the guys there had first names, and he and I were the girl from ESPN and the black guy from ESPN, because all of the rest of them were white guys and they had to have names to differentiate them. Not cool, but early in your career and when you're looking for something full-time, when your last name is from ESPN, you don't really care what they give you for a first name. The fun thing to add to that last clip is, as demeaning as it may have been to have been called the girl from ESPN, remember, having the last name from ESPN was still pretty cool. What was even more cool was on the first day of our freelance gig, when the whole group of us is there to meet the NASCAR producer for ESPN. He comes out of the truck and he introduces himself to all of us, and he points me out and he says, I know you. You're that cable sports producer that I met a couple of years ago. Because a couple of years before that, my engineer and I had gone to the ESPN NASCAR site when they were setting up at MIS. And we had met the producer, and we were just doing a little bit of networking and inspecting and talking about the types of cameras that they used, because we were looking at adding some new camera tricks to our sports productions. And the fact that the producer didn't look at me, everybody else at ESPN and Michigan International Speedway looked at me as the girl from ESPN, but the producer looked at me as the cable TV sports producer. And all the white guys who had names really hated that. And that made me so happy. Now back to the cutting room floor. The next clip that you're going to see is an example of absolutely why you are not stuck with whatever doctor you're assigned. It is up to you. And select the right doctor. And this will tell you why. I was having catheter issues. And I went in my wheelchair, my power wheelchair at this point in time. And I saw a urologist who had another urologist that was working with him. So it was two men that were basically telling me, you don't have to wear a catheter all the time. There's no reason that you can't just self-catheterize yourself. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, MS hands, and you're telling me it's really easy to put a thin little needle in a thin little space that I can really barely see while bent over in a wheelchair? And that this is a plumbing issue, folks. It's the difference between men saying, yes, it should be easy to just give yourself a catheter and do that a few times a day, and you don't have to wear a catheter all the time. And as I'm leaving, the nurse is telling me, female nurse, that if they told you that you can just self-cath yourself, don't believe that, you can't. So I have their nurse telling me they're giving you information that doesn't work for women. And the first thing that I did when I got home is I went into my insurance website and I looked up female urologists. And when I went to see my new urologist, she said, you saw 2 male doctors and they told you you could what? And she laughed at it and she said, it's different for women. They're professionals. They should know that. So while I was in the exam room with the 2 male urologists, they were telling me how easy it was to self-catheterize. I had a cartoon going through my mind. And the cartoon was 2 male doctors in their doctor's coats holding out their 3-foot penises and showing the end of their 3-foot penises with the little needle, saying, well, the hole is right here and the needle's here and you just slide it in. It's easy. I don't know why you can't do it. Yeah, it's easy if you've got the right kind of plumbing and the right kind of ego. But yeah, not so much if you're a sane woman in a wheelchair who can't see down there for the sake of my boobs. and those were real. I hope you enjoyed the clips from before the Chronicles of Nani existed until now that Chronicles of Nani is a thing, and it's getting better. At least I hope it's getting better all the time. And I hope that you agree with me. So again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It's worth keeping up with. And that subscriber number going up makes me feel fantastic too. And that means that I smile more. In the meantime, the Cyber Coffee Shop is open 24/7. I debut at 8 in the morning every Friday, but you can always catch up anytime, whether you binge watch or watch this week's episode later. Just thanks for joining me, and have a fantastic week.